There's a little bit of confusion as far as where my stop loss goes and then how I move it instantly. Now, I'm going to use this as an example. Now, let's say we are going short this big candle. Now, this is not a tradable candle. It's too large. But I'm going to use this as an example because it has a nice difference in the TBM dots here. So I'm going to zoom in so we can get nice and close to this. So let's say this was the signal candle. We had the big red conservative bar. We're looking to go short. Let's just say that is the case. All right, so once this candle closes, it'll lock the TBL, it'll lock the big red conservative bar in place. Now this candle is going to close, and then this candle, the next one, is going to open. It's going to look just like we're seeing it right now. If I'm placing my trade, I want to get in kind of where that close was, sort of the next candle will be open. Now this is the signal candle, right? The next candle is open, but the signal candle is the one I'm focusing on right now. So my stop loss is going to go just above the TBM dot of the signal candle. That's how I'm getting my numbers. So from there, I'm going to see what the distance is between my entry and my stop. I'm going to place a 1-to-1 take profit. So the distance between my entry and my stop is about 50 pips. So we're looking at 50 pips, give or take. All right, so that's all based off of that entry, that signal. We got that signal to take the trade on this candle. Once that candle closed, all the criteria is met. The indicators are locked in place. That becomes the signal. That is the candle that I'm going to use to enter the trade with. I understand that once that candle closes, the next candle opens. But because this is the signal candle, I'm using all the information, the TBM dot, the entry, and then from that, my take profit based off that candle. Now, this is where some of the confusion is. When I move my stop loss, it's going to be along the TBM dots. All right, so this candle had opened, giving me a new dot. Now this dot was there while I was placing the stop loss over this previous dot, because this was the signal candle. This was the candle that all my information was coming from. Once that candle closed, I'm looking at its TBM placement. I'm looking at it for where I placed my stop loss. I'm looking at it for where I'm going to put my entry, my target, I mean. So once I've done all that, once I've placed my stop loss, once I've placed my take profit, I'm going to start to manage the trade. Now this next candle had opened. It had opened the instant this other one closed. This other TBM dot was placed. So now that I've got the trade entered, all that information is entered, I'm going to start to manage the trade. So this candle would have been open. This is the TBM dot. So instantly, I'm able to reduce the risk because I'm using this dot. Now, in this example, we've got one more candle that's open. So now I get to move my stop loss a little bit lower. It's going to be above the current dot. As I manage the trade, it's going to be above the current dot. As I'm placing the initial stop loss, it's going to be above the second last dot, because that second last dot is going to be the entry signal. As soon as that candle closes, the next candle opens, gives me the dot, but I'm using the previous dot because it is the information on the signal candle. Now, I hope this makes sense. If not, let me know, and I'm going to discuss it more in a webinar.